So you're worried about diabetes, heart disease, chronic pain, or postpartum depression? Dr. Terri DeNeui joins us to share how hormone optimization could significantly improve your quality of life. If you're enjoying Table Talk, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Remember to click that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest posts. Well, you know, most medical professionals focus on disease treatment instead of disease prevention, but is that the best way? Today's guest shares how hormone optimization can impact your health. We love to talk about all those kind of things at the table, but before we get to that, join me around the table is Kendra Kelly-Dean, ready to learn about hormones today?
Oh, I am so ready to learn about hormones. But I think it is important to not just treat symptoms, but to find out the root cause and build your body up. So I think this is going to be a really interesting show, and people should take notes.
For sure, you know, we're all about that. I mean, if there's a natural way that God, you know, things that God has put on the earth that we can do to heal ourselves, we want to get to the root of that, right?
Yeah, because He wants us to live to the fullness that we can.
That's right.
For the purpose that He's given us. So why can't we be happy while we're doing it and get our hormones in check at the same time?
There you go. Cindy Johnson, are you all about like making everybody happy with good hormones?
Hormones, 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 yes, and I think I have some puzzle pieces missing in my life, and they are probably called hormones.
Oh, we're going to talk about it today. Rachel Lamb Brown, my daughter, how are you?
I'm good, and you know, I think a big misconception that people have is that hormone therapy is only for women going through menopause. But really, it's something that a lot of people can benefit from.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to be the most interesting thing for me to learn about today.
For sure. And, you know, in the world that we live in today, I mean, there are young girls and even young women who are struggling with hormones.
Well, and I think we're going to talk about this on the show. I'm so glad you're doing this because this is such helpful information. But we are really being, I hate to use the word attack, maybe onslaughted from so many angles through our food and through our water, through chemicals that are affecting our hormones. And that's why even women today, they're starting their cycle so much younger than 50 years ago. So there's definitely stuff going on, but there's stuff that we can do to be proactive, which is why this show's so important.
Not just starting their cycles earlier, but so many women struggling to get pregnant because so many hormone disruptors.
So many women.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all that.
Infertility is huge.
I don't know if we can do all that in one show, but we're going to try. Cindy Murdoch, this is important because, you know, really food today is not what it was when we were growing up.
It is not.
I mean, it's being altered and GMOs and meat fabricated. It's not meat.
It's weird.
It's
and it gets us off balance. Yeah. And then we start treating it with our symptoms with all these drugs that are really bad for us.
Yeah.
Rather than getting to the root cause. So I'm excited because I think it's going to help women and maybe men too.
Yeah, I knew you were excited about this show.
I am. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Well, she's a board-certified practitioner, renowned speaker, and co-founder of the Avexius Medical Center. And she's here to discuss her book, Hormone Havoc, Dispelling Myths and Misconceptions about Hormones in Women and Men. Welcome, Dr. Terri DeNeui. Hello, hello. Welcome.
Thanks.
Did you hear all our questions?
You know, you guys are pretty well educated. I loved what I was listening to.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
really
I think
fun.
the first time I met you, we had like a little discussion, come to Jesus, and you're like, oh yeah, I believe that. I believe, oh yeah. And interestingly enough, Terri has helped me, but I actually started dealing with hormone balance and stuff and making sure I was good probably late 40s, early 50s, which you said is kind of unusual, but I had a good endocrinologist that was working with me early on. So we're going to talk about that because it's so important. Can you really transform your physical health without medications or pills? Terri is here to share how hormone therapy might be the alternative that you need. So let's talk a little bit. I'm gonna let everybody, y'all think of your one question you wanna ask, but hormone havoc, is this a real issue going on in the world today?
Oh my goodness, yes, very much so, especially in this country. You guys touched on a lot of it right before, you know, just with all the endocrine disruptors in food. I think one that's really underappreciated is we don't rest. we're constantly stimulated, and we've got all these electronics, and we kind of
we've
just
got
put them down.
this right here going on.
Yeah,
like you
that's
go in a
right.
restaurant and everybody is looking at their phone.
Right.
Which is not good for us.
So, yeah.
So talk a little bit about some of the myths and misconceptions that kind of stand out to you about hormones that our audience would be interested in hearing.
Well, the number one for women especially is that, I think one of you said it, maybe you said it, that it starts just, when we're in our 50s and we're having hot flashes and going through hormone changes, but it really does happen really often for a lot of women after that second baby. I know you've got another one on the way. And things that are really subtle and that most of us don't really equate to hormones, like I'm not thinking very well, I can't focus, depression even, anxiety is a big one, mood swings is another one. So a lot of these, and a lot of times we'll go to our primary care provider and they're just like, oh, you're just under stress and, just take this anti-anxiety pill or this antidepressant.
Or let me put you on Premarin.
Yes,
or let me put you on Premarin, which is pregnant mare's urine.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
We've done shows on that. Yeah,
exactly. So I think that's one of the big ones is the age, and then of course the biggest one that we're still haven't unraveled from is that hormones cause cancer, which they don't. We can talk about that. That's a big one.
But synthetic hormones do cause
certain ones,
breast
definitely.
cancer,
Yep.
like Premarin, right? I mean, they're
Pro, yes, for sure.
So you're all about going more the natural route. Let's just talk, I'm gonna let the young ones jump in a minute, but let's just talk about women who are watching who have gone through menopause and they're not on anything. Yeah, did you see Terry? She made a face on that. So what you do and what I did was I go in to see her and I give my blood and you send it off to a lab and we look to see where my hormones are.
Right.
Because everybody's different.
Correct.
And so you look to see what, if there's what, with me. You can use me example, because you said mine looked pretty good, so I'm like.
You did. It's a myriad of things, and I think one of the things that a lot of women don't understand, even healthcare providers don't understand, is there's 3 key hormones that women need to pay attention to. Estrogen is one, obviously we know that. Progesterone is another, and testosterone is a big one. I think that one's under talked about. It's not talked about a lot. And then of course thyroid hormone, and then some adrenal hormones, and they all work synergistically together. So you really can't just look at one thing. It's a symphony, if you will. God designed our bodies to work in harmony together, and all of these things work and have specific jobs, and there's receptors for different hormones head to toe in our body. So if there's a receptor waiting for a molecule to exert an action, it's got to do something in the body, right? So looking at the blood work is the first step, and lining that up with symptoms is the next thing that we would do.
And so you don't really use synthetic hormones in balancing your patient's hormones.
No, and there's really no reason to use synthetic hormones. There's, commercially available natural hormones too, with certain patches and things. The one synthetic hormone that caused all the issues is a progestin, not to be confused with progesterone. A lot of people interchange those two. It's not the same. But in the big Women's Health Initiative trial where breast cancer became, this big fear, it was actually the progestin arm of that trial that was causing the issue. So the women that were on the synthetic progestins had an increased risk of cancers, strokes, heart attacks, and Alzheimer's disease.
Right. So, Cindy, I'm gonna let you jump in because you're gonna be our next candidate to go get your blood work done, so we can.
Yes.
Because a lot of women have had what you had, like at 29, which is what?
29, I had a hysterectomy. And
Why?
because of heavy bleeding and cysts that just continued to happen, and so
I will say to that that happened with me, where there was some heavy bleeding and cyst, and my doctor wanted to do a hysterectomy, and I knew enough by then to know that I didn't want to do that.
How old are you then?
And so I was probably in my 40s.
Really? I never knew that.
Just a few years ago. Anyway.
It's really common.
Not really. And so that's when I found Dr. Johnson, who's an endocrinologist, and she said, no. She said, which, you did what your doctor said. I mean, that's what a lot of women did. And,
right.
But
That's
anyway,
what most women do.
what I did was I went to another doctor and we just like did a DNC and actually cleaned everything out. And then I didn't have that issue anymore and I was able to keep everything even to this day.
Great.
Which I know if you can do that, great. I'm just telling you my story. But also if you have had a hysterectomy, there's still help for you. So continue
There's
on.
still hope for you, Cindy.
Thank God.
There's still help.
And all the women that have had hysterectomies, there's help for you. Don't be dismayed.
Yeah, same.
Well, I've been on estrogen. Well, first they started me on, I think, the drug that you're talking about earlier, but I was all over the place. I finally got to a point, I told my husband, I said, I feel like someone else has moved in my body. I'm not responding like what is normal for me. And it's been a kind of up and down.
Did it make you crazy?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like I found myself at a stoplight and the light was red and I was yelling in the car at the person to go and the light is red.
It's a very common thing that you're talking about and it's heartbreaking. You know, we laugh because it's funny in hindsight, you know, but it is heartbreaking at the time because I can't tell you how many women have come to me and said, I feel crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm losing my mind and you know, I don't know what to do. I've been to this doctor, that doctor. I put on this medication, that medication. Nothing worked. So it's a very common story, what you just described.
So what would you do for Cindy, like if she were your patient? Because I'm trying to help women who have had hysterectomies.
The biggest mistake, again, we talked about this a little bit previously, that in our country, we're big about prescribing a pill to treat a symptom, right? So that's what they did for you. They prescribed a pill to treat a symptom, a synthetic estrogen probably, that goes through all this stuff when it metabolizes in the gut, and what you have left over isn't always really that great. It may help with hot flashes and some of the symptoms of having your ovaries gone, but it really hasn't replaced that natural hormone, right? So now, really, we look at all of the hormones. We replace natural estrogen, progesterone, and then you have to look at testosterone. It's a powerful brain hormone. So all of those symptoms of depression, moodiness, anxiousness, fatigue, can't sleep, can't focus, that is a lot of that's testosterone driven.
And the energy.
Energy.
That's the thing that I noticed when you gave me some natural testosterone.
Yep.
Feel funny talking about that. But anyway, you feel, you just have more energy and you feel better. Is that one of the side effects of testosterone?
It's a brain hormone. So I was talking about receptors earlier. So there's thousands of receptors in the area of our brain that's responsible for mood and thinking and mental clarity and focus. And when you don't have that hormone and those receptors aren't being stimulated, then those are the symptoms that you're going to get, right? And then
what about because of testosterone, I always heard if you have testosterone, that's like a male hormone that you think of typically.
That's a
it'll make hair grow, will make hair grow, unwanted hair.
Well, let me tell you something.
These are the things we're
That's true. That is true.
As you get older, hair is going to grow where you don't want it to grow.
True.
But testosterone's a metabolic hormone, right? So it increases metabolism, and we think of metabolism as just our weight, although that's part of it, but everything grows. Stuff we even don't want to grow, like that hair that's on our face. Yeah. So it can be a side effect of testosterone. It grows faster, but if you aren't a hairy human out of the gate, you don't typically get hairy all of a sudden.
So if someone is overweight, could a lack of testosterone be the reason why?
As women are going through hormone changes in our 40s, absolutely, that can be a huge part of it. And thyroid is another. The two metabolic hormones are thyroid and testosterone. That's why they go together. And practitioners that aren't treating them all together are really missing a big piece.
And that's what you look at when you get the blood work back. Then you sit down and you go over, okay, this is where we need to do this, and this. But not only that, you also look at your vitamins.
Vitamin levels, right.
And your vitamin levels, because you say that's very important as well.
It's a holistic. You have to look at the whole, she's looking at the whole picture.
Right.
And your gut health, because how are you metabolizing those hormones? Are you excreting the metabolites that we don't want in our body? Are you so it all plays a part.
And what are some of the, I want to go back to the hormones, but what are some important vitamins that we need that you see women depleted in? And
Vitamin
men as
D,
well?
number one, vitamin D. So when it comes to testosterone receptors working, vitamin D for men and women. I mean, it's a big one. Vitamin D levels need to be above 60. So we were speaking earlier in the green room about the lab bell curves, right? And so what's normal and so one of the other myths that I really like to dispel is that reference range that you see on your blood work, that's not normal. There's no established normal ranges for hormones. That's just an expected range. So, you know, I always tell people, you know, just like a test in school and a bell curve, you always want to be on that right side of the bell curve, right? You want your grades to be good. Well, it's the same thing with your hormone levels. So being on that right side of the bell curve is not only do you feel better, but it's what equals better health, disease prevention, and things like that. So when we're looking at those labs, that's kind of what we're shooting for.
So for people that get the book, what kind of stuff do you go into that can really help our audience, or for women that are watching, as well as, I know you men watch the show too, and you need to have your hormones right, especially as men get older, their testosterone can be an issue. Is that true?
Absolutely. I have a great story in here, and there's so many, but I have as many male stories in here as females. But for men, it's more of a, it's a very subtle, things are happening to their brain, their energy, but a lot of men will say, I just don't enjoy doing the things that I once loved. I had one patient come to me, he's just has a lot of gifts to give the world still. And he just said, you know, I really just kind of want to retire. I don't want to do this anymore. And so this thing better work, he said. It was a little pressure. But that's what guys do. They feel kind of the blues, the blahs. They would rather kind of sit in a recliner than get up and even go fishing or do things that they love, play golf, things like that.
Not to mention their sex life.
Yeah,
as
not
well.
to mention that. So, you know, women tend to lose desire, men tend to lose function. So, you know, they're just not firing on all cylinders there. But men also get, they kind of start getting belly weight gain. They get, their brain isn't working as well. Their memory doesn't work really well. And it's really frustrating for them.
So what happened to that patient? Your little world changer.
He was great. He came back after that first
Ready to
visit.
win the world?
Yep, and he just said, I cannot believe this. I'm so grateful.
So tell us about another story about a woman that just had a dramatic change.
Oh, goodness. There is a family, actually, that had a dramatic change. And this story is in here, too. And this is a daughter, the daughter of the family came in. She was in her 40s and didn't need estrogen yet, but was having all the stuff, depression, decreased desire for intimacy with her husband, mood swings, anxiety, just those are a recipe for a relational disaster, as you can imagine. And so she came in, we got her all fixed, and it's really pretty simple. She was really just progesterone, testosterone deficient. But then when she started feeling better, she recognized these changes in her mom. She recognized that her mom was a miserable person also. It took her about 6 months, but she finally talked her mom into coming in. And her mom at that time was 65, her dad was 85, so it was a little bit of an age gap, but he was a retired gynecologist, and they were just ready to get her mom some help. So got her labs done, everything, did her visit, got her taken care of. And then when I brought her back for her follow-up labs, she's sitting in the lab chair, and I go and say, hi, how are you doing? And I mean, she just starts bawling. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I messed this one up, you know, I didn't get something right. But she said, I haven't liked my husband for 25 years.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And she said, I realized now it was me and not him.
Wow.
And I feel like I've lost time.
And she liked him.
Wow.
She liked him
So
again.
2 weeks later, I go into my next patient's room, and it's the husband.
Oh.
And he said, I just want to thank you for giving me my wife back.
Oh, wow. Made me cry.
That's
And
so cool.
yeah.
That's
And then he
great
said,
story.
had I known about this therapy when I was a practicing gynecologist, I would have put everybody on it.
Oh, wow.
And he was lamenting the lack of knowledge
Yeah.
to help his patients.
Because OBGYNs, they work directly with women's hormones, and they
Correct.
don't have, a lot of them don't have that kind of knowledge.
They don't. That's true.
And so women get put on not the best care because of the lack of
the
knowledge.
antidepressants and all the things, because that's
Yeah.
all they know. And I tell patients this a lot too, and when I teach, because we train doctors all over the country, and you know, it's not their fault. It's just not part of our educational curriculum. You know, we're taught women will be in her 50s and start having hot flashes, and you can give her this pill. You know, that's kind of it.
Right, and you know, you don't realize that it affects not only how you feel, it also affects the way you look and aging and so many other variables.
I'm 80. I mean, come on.
I want that.
You're 80 and I'm 85.
Exactly.
Okay. What can people do for their gut health?
Oh my goodness. Stop eating junk. I mean, you know, I try to keep it simple with my patients. If you just don't eat anything that you open in a package, let's just start there. So processed foods are the biggest endocrine disruptors. Seed oils.
The outside of the market, of the supermarket.
Exactly.
Yeah, not in
What's
the
an
inside.
example of a seed oil?
All the
That's in
oils that
everything.
have cooked, that everything's cooked in, especially
Soybean,
processed food.
canola,
All of those. Anything
baked
that's
sunflower,
a seed.
like it's in all the
Safflower,
all the
safflower.
processed food.
So there's no really magic cure. A lot of it is food related.
So what is a
It
good
is
oil?
almost all food related.
Coconut
and it's
oil?
partly, what'd you say?
Coconut oil?
Coconut oil's good.
Olive
Coconut,
oil?
avocado, olive
oil.
Those are tallow. Those are the best ones to cook with.
tallow, yeah.
Tallow. But the other one is sugar. We're an over sugar.
Yeah, that's what helped me the most was when I went off of sugar completely. Well, quickly, other question.
I was gonna say, what sugar substitutes are okay? Because some are like,
Please say one I use all the time.
I mean,
there's
my favorite
different-
is actually coconut sugar. If you're just going to use, you know, a sugar that has low glycemic, so it doesn't stimulate your insulin. It's all about insulin resistance, right? We talked about this earlier with PCOS and all of that. So that's the biggest problem. There's a lot of endocrine disruptors. Sugar's the number one. Seed oils is number two. Other than that, you know, monk fruit's good. Stevia is fine. It's just, if you can try to get the least processed.
Yeah,
sugar,
I'm glad you
which
said
coconut
stevia.
sugar.
Thank you, Jesus, for my iced tea. That's like my little gift, you know, when I have unsweet tea is to put a little stevia in there.
Yeah.
Your question, Cindy.
First, I want to say thank you, kudos to my bestie, because my family and the people I grew up in and lived around, and as I got older, we knew nothing about hormones and how important they were. You know, we didn't have that education, so I thank you that she's bringing that to light to the world. Because, and what do women do? I know I was making this one doctor my primary care and would be my gynecologist and everything. And I said, okay, when you do my blood work, make sure you do the hormone levels. And she said, oh, honey, at your age, that's not even necessary anymore. And that was the last time I went back.
I would have found someone else. She probably was younger and hadn't gone through those changes yet. Yeah, so she'll change her tune someday.
So I think we do need to encourage, don't you, women to, if that's what
100%.
you get, go find somebody that will.
Right, and you asked the question earlier about, you know, when should you start? And I think also it's who should you see? It's when should you start and who should you see?
Yeah.
Because if you go to just a classically trained practitioner that's not integrated medicine or functional medicine, or that's going to look at the gut, that's going to look at diet, that's going to look at some of these things that understands that, you're just going to get put on drugs. So.
What are your thoughts on baby formula, since it has seed oils in it, and I've heard from another doctor that it can affect the baby's hormones?
Yep.
Can you speak to that?
If you can avoid it at all possible. You know, it's interesting now, there are so many breast milk banks for women that are trying to get through that season, or but we're real behind in the formula world. Germany and some of the European countries are way ahead on the formula situation. But if you look at a formula can, the second ingredient after seed oil is high fructose corn syrup, you know, so we're getting babies addicted to sugar at a very early age, and sugar is an addictive, it's a drug. I mean, it stimulates the same areas of our brain as
What about
cocaine.
goat milk
It
or
has
some of these
soybean oil in it.
other milks? Or is there any other alternative for?
I mean, yeah, what did we do before formula? You know, I mean,
What are some of the other biggest disruptors?
primarily it's processed food, sugar, and then hormones in the food, meat, things like that. Plastics.
You should get organic.
Organic, grass-fed if you can. At least, you know, try to do organic, and you know, it's not available
Stay
for
away
everyone.
from GMOs.
As much as
How
possible.
dangerous? How dangerous is this new meat that's not me.
Oh, goodness.
That Bill Gates is
I could talk 30 minutes about that.
But what
That
about
is
the
a
sugar? So you mentioned this earlier. You said the sugar is causing people to be insulin resistant, which actually is contributing to people who are having more PCOS these days, which is actually contributing to infertility.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of women who are trying so hard to get pregnant may have PCOS or something like this happening in their gut that they don't realize diet can be that simple.
So insulin resistance is the number one, and now the number two contributor to PCOS is a leaky gut and what's called gut dysbiosis. So you have too much bad bacteria in the gut over the good bacteria. That has everything to do with our diet, lack of fiber, lack of probiotics and things like that. So it's all, that's kind of probably the biggest endocrine disruptors. The other thing is plastics and all that. We don't want to get down that rabbit trail, but if you could at least just try to start with as much organic as possible. Really, the most simple thing is, I tell patients this: if you can't pick it, pull it, or kill it, don't eat it.
That's good.
Now, I had a guy one time say, "No, well, pull the potato chips off the."
Oh my word! A guy would say.
Exactly.
Okay.
Out of the pantry.
That's a great way to teach children too. Pick it, pull it, or kill it.
But you're talking about kids. I quit volunteering at my daughter's school when she was in elementary school because it disheartened me, all the packages. Like every kid just had a package, a package, a package. And it's not the parents' fault because we're marketed to so heavily, and it's gluten-free and real fruit juice, and we're, speaking to a mom's heart of, this is so convenient and it's healthy, so it's not though.
It's so funny because Judah, my son, he's 3, he'll be like, I don't want that food, I want pantry food.
Pantry.
I want pantry food. Like when I try to give him like a nice meal, he'll be like, I don't want this healthy stuff, I want pantry food. I'll open the pantry.
All of those non-foods, we're in this, we're overfed and undernourished in this country, and all of those non-foods are created with chemicals that are intentionally created to be addictive, and that is known. It's in the clinical literature. We know that now. We moms got to fight for our kids' health, and it starts in the schools.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have. I think we could keep talking for another whole hour about all this, but I love your new book, Hormone Havoc, and this will be such a blessing for you to get the book. I want you to remember that no matter what situation you may be facing, God has a plan for your life. And I love that Jeremiah 29:11 scripture. It says he wants to give you a hope and a future. And your health is an important part of that. Terri is a spirit-filled believer. She loves God, and she's doing what she's doing because she wants to help people be healthy so they can achieve their God-given destiny. Is that true?
That's exactly
absolutely true. And now you help a lot of people in ministry. And if you're watching today and you need a healing miracle or you want wisdom for how to walk out your own hormone health journey, I encourage you to get the book. But we're also here to pray for you, and that's why that toll-free number is on the screen. We have prayer partners that are standing by if you'd like more information on Terri. And like you said, there are practitioners that do more of the holistic type of treatment. Really all across America. I mean, people are so hungry for that and to get to the root. So I know that you can pray, the Lord can lead you, direct you. And I do want to thank Dr. Terri for sharing her story with us. Again, be sure to grab a copy of her book, Hormone Havoc, Dispelling Myths and Misconceptions about Hormones in Women and Men. You got to take care of yourself too. For more on her work, you can contact her at hormonehavoc.com. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Leave us a comment to let us know how today's show touched your life, and make sure you subscribe to the Joni Table Talk podcast, available now across all top podcast apps. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, ladies. Did y'all love this show?
Yes.
Wasn't this good? Yeah. Rebecca, you got 20 more questions. Rachel's got 20 more. Will you come back and answer their questions?
Absolutely.
Okay,
anytime.
all right. Well, we love you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I pray this has been a blessing to you. Again, if you need prayer today, we're here for you. And if you don't know Jesus, that is the most important decision you can make today. We would love to pray with you about that as well. Just invite him in. He will change your life forever. Hey, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for today.